Welcome back. We're indoors because it's raining. Absolutely tipping it down. But not to worry, we've got lots to do, lots to crack on with. Dragged this little Blaauws in. It's an Airlayer which I actually picked up off of eBay. And I've already airlayered the top. That's outside still. And I just played around with this bit. Wasn't really interested. What I was going to do was airlayer these as well, take these off. Hence why I wired them, just to give it a little bit of shape previous to airlayering, makes it easier. But then I thought, well, I don't know, just leave it as it is. But I can't leave it as it is with such a contrast of shapes. So it is pencil straight, the trunk, dead straight until you get to this point, and then I just did a little bit of a gin just to flow it. So in nature, a tree will grow dead straight, and it will do that for a reason, generally because it's either protected from the elements, it's got no influence on it, it just grows dead straight. When you start introducing bends and curves, it contradicts itself. You got to imagine, why did that tree grow dead straight for so many years, and then all of a sudden you get all this gnarly, bendy, sweeping branches? It kind of tells a confusing story about the tree, basically. So it's going to be a challenge to try and combine those two stories into one. What I'm going to do is try and shape it, balance it first with these two. These two are too parallel. It adds too much heaviness at the top. It's kind of like a subconscious inverse taper to the whole tree. The bigger part of the tree should be really down here, and if it's not, it should be better balanced up here, which it certainly isn't. It's all one side. The tree grew this way, so the story says, dead straight, so any influence it did have, it slightly lent. So why all of a sudden are these branches growing that way? So we're going to have to balance it out. I think this bigger lower one, I think we'll leave as it is for a minute, and we'll just play around with this top and try and get it this side. As I say, there's a reason why this trunk is leaning. Now obviously I know where it's leaning because I planted it like that. But to tell a story, to make the tree look old, and to make it look like it's grown in this environment where it's been manipulated, we need to kind of change it. We need to make the story more clear, really. That's what I'm getting at. So I think what we're going to do is we're just going to try and just manipulate this slightly. I don't want to be playing around with it too much. Yeah. Thick wire. So already it looks alright. It's a lot taller, it's not as compact, but already it's looking like it's more balanced, I think. We can give it a bit of that. Give it a bit of that. Just bring it back in a little. Okay. So if you look at it now, it does look a little bit more balanced. Not a lot, admittedly, but it does look a little bit more balanced. We can bring this one up, bring him forward, give it a bit of depth. As I say, it's very two-dimensional, this tree. If you look at it down that way, obviously we've got these branches where we can wire out, maybe bring down. I'm not suggesting that this is always going to be the front. Just because it has a shari in there, it doesn't necessarily mean that we've got to use it. But the point is, it was all too unbalanced. Okay, so I've got to play around with it, put it into some kind of shape. Doesn't look too bad, I don't think. I think it's quite easy to achieve something like this. But what we're going to do, so that was the first part of the demonstration. This tree is going to get some abuse this evening. That's just one way of styling it. It's an easy way of doing it. Just got to remember that you've got to balance things out. That's all you're trying to achieve. You need to have one clear story and have nice balance throughout the tree. Now, I could leave this, I could put it out on the bench, I'd be quite happy with it. But we're not going to. We're going to completely restyle it. Hopefully we're not going to stress the tree too much. We probably will. But I think we've got enough time in the next few weeks, a couple of months, and I will put a lot of effort into the recovery stage of this. I won't just leave it out on the bench. As I say, it's going to get a little bit more stressed. But I think it's a good opportunity to do it. As I say, junipers, they carry on growing. It's still mild. Where I live, we do get frosts, but sunny Devon, well, I say sunny, it's always raining lately. We do have milder winters, so which I'm fortunate for, because it allows me to do more things for a longer period in the year. Obviously keep an eye on things. The weather can change. Us Brits, we love to moan about the weather, but all, you know, in Devon, I think we're fairly lucky. So I'm going to take this wire off. You're probably thinking, you've only just put that on. I did, but it was recycled wire. It needed taken off anyway. As I say, I do like the technique of letting the wire bite in, but you've really got to concentrate on the trunk for that. You don't want the branches biting in. You can weaken them. Doesn't always look right. Double wires on here. Get rid. I don't normally do this. I normally recycle it, but for quickness of this video, just get rid. I've got plenty of wire to use anyway. Okay, get rid of that. Sorry, I'm probably in the way. I'm probably shouting it. Hit your phone or your TV. Get out of the way, I can't see. Right, so what I've done, I'm going to leave that wire on top. I've cut the thick wire that was linking the leader to this branch. I've cut it just this side, because what we're going to do is we're going to split this trunk. To make this tree anything really that's going to be a wow factor, we need to get rid of this pencil straightness. It's just, it doesn't look right. Some of you out there going, oh, it probably looks, you know, it looks amazing. Yeah, it's passable as a bonsai, but realistically, I think we've got a good opportunity to manipulate this. Putting the shari in helped, because what it's done is it's naturally opened up. You can see that already. There we go. And I haven't even done anything. All I've done is taken the wire off, so the wire has been holding the trunk together. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put something down there. I'll grab a sharp knife from somewhere. Bear with me, there's one in the box. We have it all. We have it all. Although we can't find it. Can't find it. Did I wash it? I might have washed it. I'll go and have a look. It's probably in my case. Back in a minute. Got my knife. Just give it a clean as well. Another thing, you always want to have clean tools. I'll come around this side and do it. So what we want to do is just basically clean it up. It will manipulate. It's awkward. I'm going to have to come in from this side. Right. Let's put the blade in like that. And just work it down. Nice and gently. Keep an eye on where the split is going, because what you don't want to do is end up with a really thin bit. And I can see it's going towards this root, so it's becoming off centre. So we've got to be really careful. Really careful. Just work it in. No rush. No rush. Right, I've hit something I've hit a stop. So I think we'll leave it there. Plus we don't want to disturb this root. We don't want to damage this part. This root is quite a nice shape and it's feeding this part of the tree. So we don't want to damage that. So we don't want to go down too far. So I think we're about as far as we're going to go. Right, now what we're going to do, actually saying that needs, there we go, it's opened it up. Look at that. Alright, that's what we've got. So by doing that, you've probably all seen a bit of trunk splitting before. It makes it so much easier, and also if you've got a completely split trunk, so much easier to now bend and manipulate and twist. Twisting is the key. So you imagine a tube of cardboard, you try and twist it, it's quite rigid. So the whole trunk as one is a tube. If you've got a flat bit of cardboard and you twist it, it's really easy to bend. So it's the same principle. If you've got a nice flat piece, it will bend a lot easier. So what we're going to do is we're going to get some wire. We're going to get some thick wire. Because although it's now split, it is still going to be quite rigid. Because it is old wood. And what we're going to do is we are going to give this up quite a bit. So I've got a lot to play with. I'm going to put the wire in like so. Because both sides are near enough the same length, we'll just get it in the middle. So if the camera can pick that up. And you just work the wire down so it naturally opens it up. Roll it. You roll the wire down, just pushes it out naturally. Okay, that's as far as I'm going to go at the minute. Key thing, what we need to do is protect this part down here. So what you do is you grab another bit of wire, short bit. You want to brace this bottom bit. You want to clamp it. You want to hold it together. You don't want that splitting anymore, especially near the soil level. Right, so I get my wire cutters, thick wire pliers, and we'll just wind that. Just work it down a little bit more, don't you see? Like there. Actually, I might go the other way, because by twisting it anti-clockwise, I'm going to be putting pressure onto that root that we want to kind of protect. So now the wire's going up away from the root, if you can see that. And all you're doing is you're just clamping that bottom bit. You're securing it, you're stopping it from opening up anymore. Because in a minute we are going to give it some, so to speak. Okay, how are we looking? It's good. Right, we can take this off after this exercise if we think that it's not going to move. Just tighten it up. Right, so we're back to this wire in between. Now all we do, work out which way you're going to twist it, and then that determines which way you put the wire on each part of the trunk. So if we're going to choose this as the front, I really want to be exposing all this dead wood, so it needs to be twisted this way so the apex comes towards you. Opposite to this, obviously, if we want the shari exposed. I'm not sure yet. I think what we're going to do is we're going to do this one and see how it sits, see how much bend we can get in it, and then decide whether we're showing live or dead tissue. So either bend it forward or back. So we're going to be twisting it this way. So what we're going to be doing is bringing the wire around this part. As I say, it's when you twist it, what you don't want is the wire going the opposite way, so the wire loosens as you twist it. You want it to tighten as you twist it. So by doing that, really what you need to be doing is just putting it on quite loose, not as tight as you'd normally do it, because when you start to twist it, that wire is going to tighten. So if you've already put it on tight, it's just going to tighten it even more, and then you'll start getting scarring, and you could damage the trunk. Okay. I don't know if I cut enough wire. We will see. Okay, yeah. Right, now the important thing is when you're twisting something like this, you need an anchor point at the top, really. Don't just leave the wire loose, because it will start to unfold, it will start to undo itself. So you need to find an anchor point. You can either use a branch or something like a gin. A gin is always good. Just pulling down like that. It's a good anchor point. Okay. Right, there's the first one. So it's anchored there because eventually it's going to be tied to this part of the trunk, this side of the trunk. So we just put one, actually we'll put two coils in just to give it a bit of stability and also to get this wire out of the way. I could have left it where it was, but it would have just got in my way as we're working. Try and bring it down, something like that, just so he's out of the way. Right, so he's anchored there and he's anchored up here. So now we're going to twist it. So because this wire is going this way, the wire should tighten up slightly, not a lot, So we're going to grab some pliers. What do I do with the pliers? There they are. Can't see for looking. So we're going to grab an anchor point up here, and then we're just going to again just manipulate the tree. Now obviously people use raffia and other things to support the trunk, but I think if you're doing something this size, you can hear, if you listen, you hear cracking, you hear the tissue moving. Very important to listen, feel, don't rush anything. Try and get a bit of a bend on it first. You can just hear it cracking and popping. Okay, and this anchor point's come away. I also didn't do that very well. Okay, let's get that back in there, because we need that really to be secure. There we go. Here we go. Right, let's bend it around this gin. Let's get a good hold on it. Yeah. Right, that's better. Okay. Twist and bend at the same time. You can hear it cracking and popping. It's not getting a lot of movement, but it has pulled it around. It's opened it up a bit, so that's good. Right, I think what we need to do is just add a little bit more of a curve, just a smidge. Now that we've got that twist, and we'll twist at the same time. A bit of rebar would have been good. Oh, looking, it's got a bit of a bend on it. Right, I think what we'll do is we'll start on this side, because this will be easier to bend out and twist, and then we'll give this a little bit more. We'll just let it settle down for a minute, so there's no rush. There's a lot of stress on this little juniper. So you're getting your money's worth today. 2 demonstrations, 1 tree. I love it, it's good fun. So don't ever be afraid of doing things like this. Okay, trees aren't cheap, I get that, but that's the whole idea of not sacrificial material. Never treat it as sacrificial, but just, yeah, feel more relaxed, because you're working with material that, if it does go wrong, it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg. And also, it's really hard to kill a tree. Even if one of these dies, we've still got either side. You'd be very unlucky if both sides die off. So it's all to do with aftercare. So I picked this one up on eBay off a chap. I can't give his name. But he does a lot of Airlayers. He does a lot of, I think, Yamadori stuff. It's great. I did a video the other day on sticks, and it's talking about everybody that grows sticks, basically, from garden centres. You buy a plant, little cheapie, you get it home, It looks like a stick, but the point I was making in the video is that it's very important, because a tree does start somewhere. If you haven't watched it, it's worth viewing, just for a bit of fun. But also, it's, you know, there is some truth to it. I got loads of sticks. I love sticks. So this was a stick. Funny looking stick. Okay, so what we're going to do now is try and twist this. Now, we've got a little bit more movement with this one because it's thinner, smaller. But what we don't want to be doing is ripping it further down. These Blaauws are pretty manipulative, but there we go. Always support it. Always support it. As you bend, you twist. So, I mean, Rafi is good. Right, he's starting to just pop and crack a bit more up there, so I'm going to bring him down to that one. See if we can manipulate the bottom bit a little bit. If I can get hold of it. Right. Might be able to get in there now with my fingers. Listen to it and feel it. Gently, gently bend. You hear it cracking, popping, so I'm in the way. Okay. I think we got the bend we want. All we just got to do is just twist it. So as I said, putting the wire on the right way, as I'm doing it, because I'm tightening it that way, this wire is tightening itself against it as I'm doing it. Just work it, yeah, you hear it cracking. Right, just finish off a little bit of wiring. Recycled a lot of the wire I've been taking off the last few days, so it's not the tidiest. Right, we need that. Okay, so first initial bending. We've got plenty more opportunities in the future to continue twisting and bending this. We don't want to do it all in one go, basically. Just want to let the tree recover. Poor thing, probably needs it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to release this now. We don't need this, it's done its job. So it was just to stop that bottom part of the trunk opening up when I was hanging off it, swinging on it. So it's still a little bit two-dimensional, but it's got a lot of growing to do. Some of the pads need thinning out a little bit, but I think I'll leave it actually. I think we'll put this tree under quite a bit of stress. Just double wire that. So I'm just using recycled wire here, and it's not really doing the job because I'm not picking the right size wire, but it uses up. So this will be, I'll take this off in the spring. He says, what I'm going to do is just concentrate on that if I've got enough wire. Probably not. Let's get rid of that. Snag in. Just want to bring that branch down. Okay, how are we looking? Bit unusual. Okay, there we go. A bonus video for everybody out there. 2 demonstrations, 1 tree, 1 sitting. Poor tree. I mean, yeah, it's had it's had better days. But the idea of this video was to show what you can do. I did look back on the video, the middle part, and I got to admit, and you guys out there probably thought the same. There were opportunities in the progression of this tree through the video where it looked quite good, and you just leave it. It looked really good. Just, why have you done all this? You've gone to an extreme. You've turned it into an ugly looking tree now. Well, yeah, I kind of agree, but the point of this video was to give more options in the future. So it won't stay like this. I just want to get it back to health, make sure it survives, which I'm sure it will. And then we can start working on it. And you got to imagine later on, when this matures, you've already got this open shari, and straight away it's a feature. You can shorten things back. You could lose everything and just have this as a gin. You could lose this, keep this as a gin, bend it, manipulate it. All these wonderful bonsais that you see in shows with all this dead wood, they all start like this. Well, I'd say they do, but it's that kind of approach. You've got to push the boundaries to achieve things like that later on, for a tree to have real character in the future. So yeah, it's been fun doing it. I love working on basically raw material, and then sticks. I love sticks. Yeah, so thank you very much for watching. We will come back to this, and it will be alive, I promise. Tree. Bless. Okay, guys. Right. Take care.